Sincerely and yours, I'm sorry, mama, you can't have it your way. I'm a little broke boy, I be stuck in my ways. I'm a little broke boy, I'm just stacking my
Yes,
A's.
sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And we are back. Welcome back. We got Sway Radio, so reporting live, NFL edition. You know, we recorded a previous episode of basketball, but this is definitely gonna drop before that one because of relevancy. We are now in the NFL playoffs, and we definitely saw our first wild card weekend with this extra team in both conferences. You know, I got my man Mike here with me, football extraordinaire.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the people. How you been, sir?
I'm an eye. It's snowing and raining.
Snowing and raining, yeah, it's New York crap. Or you deal with it, hoodie weather, jacket weather, whatever. But we saw some wild card games that were, let's say,
blowouts.
what? Pause.
Those
That was kind of crazy.
Those were not no games.
But all right, let's talk about the first game we saw: Bengals Raiders. In the AFC side, Bengals of course take the W. You have always been big on Derek Carr. I haven't. You speak of what year was that? 2016.
Yeah.
Before he got injured.
Yeah.
And the tear he was on.
Seed.
And you know,
they were gonna beat the Patriots.
You feel me? So I didn't look going into this game. I thought this was a toss-up, low-key.
I didn't think it was a toss-up.
Leaning towards Cincy, but I felt like, of course, Derek Carr was going to make this a game. He had it in the first half.
Yeah.
Second half, it was pretty much a blowout.
Yeah.
Any takeaways from that game and Cincinnati moving on?
If the Bengals didn't win that game, I feel like it would have been. They would have started off their next season on a downward spiral.
That's not you saying that's a bad way to start.
Half the Raiders starters are injured. The other half is in jail. The other half got COVID.
It's not funny, but it's funny.
And they don't have a coach.
At all. And
they're on third string on the defensive side.
I'll tell you what, though. Derek Carr has definitely shown he can lead a team.
He's always shown that.
And I feel like this season, more personality-wise, I'm not talking about on the field, but more so galvanizing the troops.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a lot
of things. The fact
that
that he made it to the playoffs is spectacular.
A lot of things going on this season that he could have just said, you know what, I'm going to pack it up.
That's why I'm like, Bengals are the Bengals have something to prove. Like, they have franchise droughts that they're breaking. Congrats to them. But you have a whole team. You have a quarterback and a wide receiver who have a multi-year, like, bond and chemistry already. No one else really has that.
Mm-hmm. 2 years, or just about.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like the Bengals are supposed to win that. You have an elite pass rusher. Well, a pass rusher who's proven himself this season to be able to get to the quarterbacks. You have a wide receiver who cooks up everybody. Joe Burrow's thrown for what? His last two regular season games, almost 1,000 yards.
Yeah, 400 each or something around there.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like, and the Raiders, like, the fact that the Raiders held in for as long as they did is amazing to me. Cause
final score was only 7-point difference, but it felt like, you know.
In my opinion, I feel like the Raiders are going to. This is a foreshadowing for what is to come for the Raiders. The rest of this year to me was a whole bunch of seeing what we could do with what we have. If they get a full team behind them, I like, if the Raiders had a full squad like they did at the beginning of the year, they would have smoked the Bengals.
I don't know about smoked, bro.
What are you talking about?
I don't know about smoked.
What are you talking about?
Because, I mean, in this game, both teams didn't really get touchdowns. Each team had 4 field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, so that. I don't know if you could say automatic smoke.
I said
yes.
They had a full team.
I mean, you can say that for a lot of people. They would have smoked some people in this
playoffs.
Yeah,
but the Bengals have a full roster. They have almost all of their starters on both sides.
I understand that part.
The Raiders have their two best players. Don't get me wrong. They have the two best. They have Derek Carr, Darren Waller. But Darren Waller,
as long as you know, yes.
Yeah, he gets double covered.
I agree. Yes.
What's his name? Renfro showed up big. He's been the last.
I feel like he's kind of fell off a little bit.
No, he did.
At least in terms of the production that we're used to.
They wouldn't have been in the playoffs without him.
Very true, but I feel like he didn't give me enough that game.
I give you that.
Like, he didn't get, like, that's probably more of a Derek Carr or more of a scheme thing.
Yeah, I was thinking it was more of a play call issue.
It's not really his fault because wide receivers have to get plays called for them and throwing the ball, but
you do have to get open, though. I agree with that. But to me, the Raiders did what they did what they could with what they had. They didn't have much, period.
Yes.
They really, no coach. You're down a receiver, down tight ends, you're down defensive tackles, you're down a O-line, you're down cornerbacks, you're down safeties. You have half a linebacker. What's going on? And y'all made it to the playoffs. That's something.
Just a little round of applause.
You know what I'm saying? A little round of applause. They're better than the Cowboys.
So now we'll get to the Cowboys. Please chill. But let's stay on the AFC side of the wild card. We have Patriots Bills. Word. Patriots Bills. Let's just say the Bills decided we're not gonna play any games with y'all.
Yeah.
That little snowy, windy game up in Buffalo that y'all got.
Everything
at
was lined up
W1.
for them to win.
But I mean, yeah, this is Buffalo's game.
But not like that though. Like that's crazy.
47-17.
It's kind of crazy.
Josh Allen, first quarterback in Buffalo history with 5 passing touchdowns with 0 interceptions in a playoff game.
He didn't even punt.
Never punted the ball.
No field goals either.
No field goals either. All tubs.
That's crazy too.
But let's actually no, they did have field. Oh no, they had a couple of rushing touchdowns. Yes,
exactly.
word. But looking at this game, what I took from it was the Buffalo Bills made a statement to Bill Belichick saying, "Look, I feel like it was a statement game. You might not think so, but they won the division last year, and some people still came into this year saying the Patriots could still possibly win the division.
That's the Bills' fault though.
Yes, but this is why it's a statement game.
Season was like this, literally like this. The Bills were like what? 2 games over 500.
Their final record is 11-6.
Hey, come on. Come on.
Yeah. It could have
know
been.
what I'm saying?
They're supposed to be better in the 13 range.
You're supposed to be better. Now, don't get me wrong. The Patriots. The only reason why anyone who watched the seasons would think the Patriots could have pulled that game out is because we saw the Patriots defense humble many people. Not the Bills though.
They humbled them that game. The windy game, of course, they humbled them.
Yeah, that was the win humbled both of them.
But I mean, you could say that. I agree.
The win
But
humbled both of them.
being in Buffalo, you're accustomed to having
Yeah.
very crazy conditions.
But did you see those field goals he tried to kick that game?
True.
That's not regular. And to me, I feel like the Bills lost that game earlier in the season because they played to their ego. They were like,
Which ego?
The Josh Allen ego.
As in,
Why do
make
you keep
Josh Allen throw for 40 passes a game?
Yeah, why are you making him throw in the wind when you can't kick a field goal? If you can't kick a field goal, a leg is stronger than an arm. I don't care what anyone says. If you can't kick a field
In
goal.
some instances.
If you can't kick a field goal, why would you think you could throw 40, 50-yard passes in the wind while it's an ice ball and you're getting sacked? And see, it's different. This game was just cold. Bills play this.
Yeah, it was just cold. They always play the cold. Yes.
What happened for me and the Patriots is in my opinion, I felt the Patriots didn't run enough.
They run. Wait, you talking about this playoff game? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't run enough.
I mean, but remember.
I understand why they didn't, because even though it's listed, Mac Jones didn't play that bad. He didn't play that bad.
This game?
He didn't play that bad. Those
all right.
interceptions are great defensive plays.
One of them, yeah, the first pick
It was crazy.
in the end zone,
He
the
jumped
safety
that
came
the way
over.
he jumped that
word.
route different. You can't blame him for
I
that.
thought it was a tub.
I thought it was a tub too. Because
I
I
saw it
don't
out
even know where
here.
he came from.
Yo.
The second one he missed on a little bit. He did. But at the same time, that's still a good defensive play because we've all seen easier interceptions be dropped or missed completely.
Facts.
So, in my opinion, do I feel like Mac Jones lost that game for them single-handedly? No, I think it was a whole team effort. Because first things first, Patriots have a top 10 defense, front to back. You have, what, J.C. Jackson had what? How many interceptions? Like 5, 6, or 7?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the most. He's top 5 rated cornerbacks. What? You didn't bat a pass. You didn't get a sack. Matt Judon, they gave you some bread.
Yeah, he was almost a non-factor as well.
Bro, you got blocked. You slided in the snow most of the game, bro. So I'm like, to me, I feel like, and I'm more of a defensive-minded person when I watch football. So I watch the schemes that you call on defense. And Bill Belichick, in my opinion, called the right schemes. They just didn't make the plays. Because Josh Allen was throwing the ball wildly, recklessly. And it's not like guys are wide open. It's like he's throwing the ball over people's heads, next to their ears. And I'm like, bro, like, what are y'all doing? They didn't run enough for me. They didn't. You let the Bills get the ball to it. They got the ball back every game, like after every possession. Like, why aren't y'all running? The Patriots came through this season because they ran. I understand, like, Mac Jones showed, I guess, more confidence, more consistency throwing the ball. I believe in it, but it's the playoffs.
I think you had to give him confidence, though.
Yeah, but it's the playoffs.
It is the playoffs, but you're supposed to give him confidence going in, and especially against this team, you gave him 3 passes in a football game. If something we've never
terrible, like you should have ran.
You know what I'm saying? But that is what it is. From one blowout to a next, let's go Steelers, Chiefs, most likely the last time we will see Ben Roethlisberger on the football field. I believe I've been calling for his retirement since 2019, 2020.
I'm not mad at that.
You've definitely been. We've had our conversations back in the days, those Buffalo State days, and I told you Ben ain't it no more. It took some time for me to be right. Because
yeah,
he did.
long time.
It took some time for me to be right. Because last season he started off real great, and then ended off real bad. But 42 to 21 was the score, but the score did not really show what kind of happened first half of the game. Kansas City started off real slow. I don't think they scored till the second quarter, if I'm correct. And then, once they got going, they got going. Yeah, I don't think TJ Watt was in the game for most of it. Not most of it, but some parts of it, I think he did get hurt at a time. But
they literally can't win without him.
Yeah, so I don't really have much to say on this game, just as a congrats to Ben Roethlisberger for even getting into the playoffs when it looked like you were just a shell of yourself.
Congrats to TJ Watt for getting them to the playoffs.
My fault. You're right. Sack leader, my fault. Tied with Michael Strahan for what, 21 and a half or 22 and a half?
Because the last sack that he was supposed to give him so he could beat the record, they called it as he stripped
they called
him
it as a
fumble for loss.
A fumble for loss.
He leads the league in that too.
Yeah, word. But I don't really have much to say on this game. What about you?
Me? They weren't, in my opinion, the Steelers weren't even playing to move on. They were just playing.
Yeah, they were just playing to be here.
Because I'm like, if you wanted to be smart, you could have just had a whole bunch of checkdowns and the Chiefs never would have got the ball.
But when they did get the ball,
yeah, it was over.
It was over.
So come on, man, it's the Chiefs. What do you think this is?
Yeah,
gonna do?
this is the Chiefs are. This is
if
we talking about first round games for the Chiefs, then we not supposed to be talking.
Come on, bro.
So next game, Buccaneers Eagles. Another game that we kind of really know what the outcome would have been. Mike Evans, first Tampa Bay player in history with 100 receiving yards and more than one touchdown in a playoff game. Tampa Bay wins 31-15. It was over after the first two scores, in my opinion.
Once Tampa after the first snap.
Yeah, once Tampa went up 17-0, it was just backyard football at this point.
Because the Eagles have no consistency. You lost your best weapon, Zach Ertz. Mm-hmm. We gonna talk about him too.
Now they had him, but they didn't really give him the ball. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about his brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
word.
Lost Zach Ertz. It haven't been the same since that. They haven't been able to get a consistent passing attack because the Eagles are a ground and pound team. Mm-hmm. Run defense. If you can't get stops, running solves nothing because he's not going to score fast enough. So, the Bucs are offensive driven team. If you're not getting stops against a team that has a whole bunch of firepower, it's not as much as
they do have a good rush, but they didn't need it this game.
They didn't need it for what? They killing them. The
Eagles just keep everybody back.
Eagles have no down the field coverage. They don't have coverage. Period. Past midfield, you can't do anything. Linebackers not fast enough. Defense is old. Too much. NFC least teams. That's just that.
That's mine. Yeah. So on to the NFC least, the one team that won that division, good old Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? They lose 23-17 to the 49ers. San Francisco walk up into Jerry's World and beat the brakes off of them. Yeah. Let's just say
I knew that was going to happen.
I wouldn't say I knew it was going to happen. I would say I'm shocked at how it happened.
I'm not shocked.
I mean, you're not shocked because we both, how do we call it? We're not Cowboy fans, so we want them to. That. So what is it about for you?
It's matchups.
This is a bad matchup. I did agree on that.
Because, all right, even though the 49ers defense is stout, their weakness is their cornerbacks. But the Cowboys wide receivers aren't necessarily all the way down the field threats. They're a bunch of slots.
A bunch of slot receivers.
So if you line up 3 slot receivers, they basically stack the box against themselves. Mm-hmm. So what did the Niners do? While you're trying to figure out who's open, because they're all running routes against each other, you get sacked by Nick Bosa. That's what happened. When you're trying to run the ball, you get tackled by Nick Bosa, because that's what happened. But it's not even just Bosa. Their front seven has been good for what?
They can rush at 4.
Yeah, they've been good for the last 3-4 seasons. Mm-hmm. And then It's the time management. Now, people think when you say time management, it's all about McCarthy. No, it's about Kyle Shanahan. See the running plays he was calling? Laterals.
Got Debo Samuel. We seen a wildcat. I don't know if you peeped that though. You saw a couple of wildcat plays. I think one of those wildcat plays, Debo went to the house with that.
Debo was rushing, he was catching, and he threw a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's Kyle Shanahan. He showed his knowledge of the game. The way they even hitting certain gaps in their plays, like
the way the offensive line pulls,
like
the way everybody's in the right space at the right time.
Mind you, he tried to give the game up several times. Towards the end, he definitely tried to.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was him. I would say more Jimmy Garoppolo not making the safe decision. You get what I'm saying? Like there's
interception was terrible.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't have to go there. He could have threw the ball away. He tried to make a play on that, and I get it.
He could have just thrown the ball at his mans. Threw the ball right over his head.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo miss throws in big time moments.
Facts.
We know the spiel.
He played a good game though, in my opinion.
He definitely played a good game.
Played a good game.
I agree on that.
But to me, the Cowboys it's a bad matchup, and the Cowboys always do this thing where they come behind and they always try to do the comebacks because for some reason their brains don't work until the fourth quarter. I don't know why. So, Dak Prescott.
Because the fourth quarter is where the money time for your quarterback to lead, and they're not fully trustworthy in their quarterback.
That last snap is all Dak's fault. It's all Dak's fault.
Oh, you went to the Cowboys side. I'm sorry. I was still thinking about Jimmy. But
no. Jimmy, all right, Jimmy, in my opinion, he didn't do anything we didn't expect him to do. He didn't do anything spectacular.
This was a Jimmy game.
Jimmy game, regular Jimmy game. When it comes to the Cowboys, that last snap, people were saying how bad Mike McCarthy was. No, that was the right call. But Dak, you can't.
I don't think you quarterback sneak that, bro.
I know why, because they didn't expect him to fall. They thought he was gonna go straight up the middle.
Yeah, but what?
No, they thought Dak was gonna be able to run that all the way up the middle into the end zone. That's what they were trying to do. They didn't think that the Niners wouldn't bite for the bait, because if you peep, they didn't even drop back.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed and looked at him, and they had to do the slide. He did the slide way too early. But then also...
No, he did the slide way too late. He slid with like 4 seconds left, bro.
Yeah, but even then...
You got to slide with like 7, 8. And they didn't even have that much, because I think they snapped with 14.
Facts. They did snap with 14.
You get what I'm saying?
But I feel like Mike McCarthy expected Dak to take that all the way to the end zone. Somehow. That was dumb.
Bro, he was at the 40.
To me, if you're going to do a quarterback sneak, at least go to the sideline.
Give yourself an option.
But then also you made it. Because you tried to line the ball up yourself.
Without a ref.
While the ref is literally behind your center saying, yo, pass the ball.
But here's in terms of course, that's the last play thing. But I feel like San Francisco, credit to San Francisco because they're a very physical team due to their running style and defensively. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Dallas' style of play fits well with a team that is physical with them. You know, the Dallas is more of a finesse team. They're not the ground and pound with the Ezekiel Elliott. And another thing with Dallas, they didn't even run the ball.
Yeah.
Hardly ran the ball with 15 times combined with Ezekiel and Pollard.
Because they know bad thing. Also, because they know running the ball, like I said, it's about the matchups. If you trying to run the ball with 2 running backs versus a front 7, it's not gonna add up right. They stack the box too much that whole game. Even when they knew they were passing, they never tried to drop back because they know Dak can't go all the way down the field like that. Also because they don't have a receiver who's gonna really get behind people. Like I said, you have a bunch of slot receivers. You don't have deep threats. Like they don't have like a Justin Jefferson. You feel me? So it's like they're gonna be stuck in between certain numbers. The Niners forced the Cowboys to rely solely on Dak's throwing ability. And you know when that happens, it doesn't necessarily go well for them.
Not all the time. They have some success against the NFC Eastern teams this season.
And also, I was watching ESPN. They said the Cowboys' season is also an illusion.
Definitely.
Outside of the NFC East, 6-9.
Exactly, sub 500, and they play great against bad teams, play average against good teams.
Mm-hmm. The Cowboys are like the opposite of the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Because the Patriots' defense made bad teams look pedestrian, but when you go against super high-powered ones, it couldn't do anything. Same thing with the Cowboys' offense. The Cowboys' offense is beautiful against bad teams, but against good teams who know how to sit and wait. If you sit and wait and watch a play that they're calling come together, You know how to stop it. Like I said, Dak can't go down the field consistently. You can't. It's not gonna work. That's how you get interceptions.
So I have a question though, because this is what I was thinking about it. Just preparing for this episode, and I'm like, yo, at some point they might have to move on from Zeke and go to Tony Pollard route because of
I believe in that.
because of the type of runner Tony Pollard is.
Too.
Cheaper. That's just how the NFL works. If you guys haven't been paying attention, cheaper and productive is the efficient route for the NFL. So going the Tony Pollard route, he's more of an elusive back. He's not somebody that likes to take a pounding.
And he's
way
faster.
And he can catch a little bit better out the backfield, and he does punt returns. But I don't know, something about this offense no longer strikes me as the high-powered offense or high-scoring offense that we normally see.
Everything about the Cowboys is a facade. People, like, for example,
I get it though, bro, but I'm not trying to.
Trayvon Diggs, 11 interceptions, the most yards given up in NFL history by a cornerback.
Yeah, because he's a risk taker.
He can't cover.
He's a risk taker. That's why they always throw double moves at him.
Exactly.
Because he jumps on the first move every single
time.
It's over. And we back here, Sway Reporting Live. We going over wild card weekend in the NFL. I think we have one more game to look at, and of course that was another blowout that we had. We had about 4 blowouts this weekend.
That's crazy.
This past weekend. But Cardinals Rams. Let's just call it how it is. Matthew Stafford's first career win in the postseason. Granted, it came against a hobbled Arizona team, but score says it all, 34-11. Odell Beckham gets his first playoff win in his NFL career.
He didn't get no drops either.
And no drops either. It was nice to see, being an Odell fan that I don't know about you, but I am. But yeah, 34-11, Rams move on. We kind of expected this. Arizona did not have a DeAndre Hopkins. They lost Buda Baker mid football game. He was hospitalized. We all saw it. I've been told, not been told, I wish, but I've saw the reports that he's been checked out at the hospital so far. He still has movement, but
once I saw that, I do even lose.
It was kind of crazy because the way Akers, the Rams running back, the way he put the body in him, it was like, oh, he ran him over, and then when you look at the way he fell on his body just went limp in a sense. I was like, ooh,
this is weird because
something might be more serious there.
I knew it's bad because Buda Baker's their playmaker on defense
and returner.
Yeah, he's either tackling, getting a sack, or he's breaking up a pass. He's like I said, Buda Baker is like Michael Parsons. Like he's just been doing it for way longer. So I knew it was going after that. D-Hop being out, that's bad, but their offense still has a whole bunch of studs across the board.
They do, but it looked like they couldn't even work. It looked like they couldn't even do nothing about it unless you're saying the Rams defense just shut everything down.
I mean, look at who they got on defense, like matchups.
Jalen Ramsey took apart AJ Green,
removed him from the game.
Vaughn Miller and Aaron Donald and that linebacking core had Kyler Murray looking like Patrick Mahomes.
What is Jay trying to rush for?
Let me look that up real quick.
I think it was like 20-something yards.
It wasn't much, yeah. Definitely wasn't much.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Kyler got sacked.
Kyler definitely got sacked.
He got sacked what?
He was running for his life.
Yeah, but he always does that. He runs for his life every game, regardless.
For his life.
Like, he got sacked, what, probably like once or twice? He didn't get sacked that much. But it's like...
James Conner had 19 yards.
Bro, that's crazy.
Their other running back, Chase Edmonds, 28 yards.
That's crazy.
Word.
That's crazy. Like, the Rams took him out.
I think in the first half, they only had, like 3 yards of offense?
Exactly. The Rams sat them down. And then on offense, Matthew Stafford he did what we all knew he could do.
He showed up.
Yeah, I feel like...
With the requisite acquisitions that they have.
Yeah, but I feel like a player like Matthew Stafford gets he gets sympathy from me because you have to get used to winning. You can't going from Detroit to the Rams is a huge shift of culture.
Shift of culture, shift of media attention.
Exactly. It's like this is from a player who used to try so hard that he used to break receivers' fingers by throwing the ball at them so fast that he gets coming to the offense where he's like, "Yo, you can relax, you can sit, you're not gonna get tackled, you can survey the field. Everyone is gonna get open." Like the Cardinals did a good job of minimizing Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp did what Stars did. He showed up when he needed to. They shut him down for the whole game except the big plays where they needed him.
So, That game was that game. I don't want to spend too much on it.
It was bad.
It just looked bad.
So
So let's go into today's Thursday, January 20th. 2 days from now, we will have the first game of the divisional round. Let's get into our picks and let's get into what we think will happen in this game.
Sheesh.
First, on Saturday, we got 2 games. The first game, 4:30 Eastern time, we got the Cincinnati Bengals walking into the number 1 seed in the AFC, Tennessee Titans.
They got Derrick Henry back.
First and foremost, we didn't think Tennessee would still be at first seed.
Yeah.
This is very surprising, guys.
What's the coach name? He's coach of the year.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, coach of the year.
Yeah.
By far, no question.
12-5 record. Of course, there's a lot of other things that happened in the AFC that probably would have stopped them from becoming the first seed, but they got the job done with their best player out, and some teams currently cannot do that.
True. The Ravens. Sub.
Yeah.
That man left you at 8-3.
Here's an interesting stat, though. Cincinnati is 0-7 all-time in road playoff games. Of course, this has nothing to do with this Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. But that's some history we need to talk about.
That's facts.
Feel me? So we got a high-powered Bengal offense against a methodical, I should say, Tennessee offense. Mm-hmm. Who do you see having the edge? Or is it more so one defense stopping the other?
I don't know yet because I read that Derrick Henry got fully cleared.
I saw that too. Practicing and all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Pads and all that.
That's a huge factor. Because
the
thing is, even when he was gone, nothing really changed about their rushing attack.
Nothing at all. They signed Adrian Peterson and they said, let's go.
Yeah, so it's like now you got both of them.
And when you want when you want to take it easy with,
and Cincinnati's weakness on defense is rush defense. It can pass rush, but their rush defense is their weakness. I don't think either one of us is gonna think that the Titans are gonna try and beat them with Tannehill's arm because he be.
There's gonna be a lot of running and there's gonna be play action and then possibly a couple packages with.
Also, the Titans' defense is their weakness. And the Bengals' offense is their strength by far. So, it's going to be a little tough to see because if Derrick Henry and AP are rushing the ball, that means Joe Burrow and them won't be on the field. But if every time they go on the field, they get a tub, what does this mean?
What does this mean?
You see what I'm saying? If Derrick Henry's if he's missing a step, that's still okay because him at full strength, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's bad.
Devious, bro.
So, this is probably the hardest game to pick because I got to see. I can only make my prediction after I see the first probably 10 snaps in the game, respectfully.
So, your prediction is predicated on the first quarter, let's call it.
Yes, I have to see I got to see the speed, the pace. I got to see the rhythm that everybody's on. You got to make sure everybody's
that is very true. Rhythm-wise and chemistry-wise, Derrick Henry is coming back to I wouldn't say it's not the same team, but it's just a different aura.
Yeah, right, but it's also like this is a huge morale booster. Like
you have your best player.
Like, yo, you went out. We held first.
We held it down. So let's pull up back. We both litty. What's up?
Like this is gonna be crazy, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is in Tennessee, of course, with Tennessee having the home field.
Of course, everything.
And I feel like that's going to be the reason why Tennessee Titans win this game. That's going to be my pick, official pick, SRL. One of my picks for the divisional round will be Tennessee Titans beating the Bengals, and I'm going to say they'll win by a full touchdown.
Okay, since you do that, I guess I'll go.
I'm telling you, I'm making picks, bro. We got to make these picks,
I'll make a pick. I'll say Bengals by a field goal.
Bengals by a field goal. Mike says Bengals by a field goal. I say Titans by a full touchdown.
That's crazy.
This touchdown, if you want to go deep into it, this touchdown may or may not happen on one of the final 2 drives of the game. Bengals may score to tie it up or whatever the case may be, and they come in, march down the field, and by the time the Bengals get the ball back, it'll be game over because they ran so much clock out.
It depends. If the Titans let Jamar Chase do what he's been doing to everybody else the last 4 games, I don't know, bro. Jamar Chase been bugging, bro.
He has been bugging. But for a rookie to that last game, was that in Cincinnati? That was in Cincinnati. That had to be in I don't even remember. Wow. But I'm thinking this is gonna be a hostile environment.
Of course.
And
but I feel like that boosts them though.
It boosts because they have those egos type of guys. Those guys like Jamar Chase has that type of mentality. T. Higgins is a beast.
Uzama is a beast.
Feel me? So, but the better defense is Titans defense according to the numbers.
But not by much though.
Not by much. 12th is Tennessee, 18th are Cincinnati. So it's not by much. It's definitely close. But let's move on to the next game. Unless you got one more last thing. I don't want to cut you off, brother.
I know, but Bengals by 3.
Bengals by 3?
Bengals by 3.
I got Tennessee by 7. So now we'll go into another game. San Francisco, that's the last game on Saturday night. Mm-hmm. Prime time, 8:15 Eastern. We got San Francisco going into Green Bay. And I'm going to just go straight into it. Green Bay's not the Cowboys.
Nah.
And their quarterback can win them the game.
Yeah.
Good defense or not.
Niners have a terrible pass defense.
I'm going Green Bay, and it won't even be close.
Yeah, they may win by like 15.
It won't even be close, y'all. That's a pick. Feel me? But let's look at numbers before you go ahead. Let's give the audience some numbers, because, FanDuel is out right now. Word. Caesars Sportsbook is out right now in New York. So if y'all want to look at us for some picks, let me give y'all some information. You feel me?
Word.
So, yeah, like I was saying, you feel me? Caesars Sportsbook, FanDuel is out. So let me give y'all some numbers, right? The better ranked offense, 49ers, 7th to the Packers, 10th. Ranked. I'm just giving y'all national rankings right now. Mm-hmm. Defense, the better defense on paper. Well, you should already know that already. San Francisco, 3rd in the league to Green Bay's 9th. Mm-hmm. Passing defense now. Actually, I think it's just passing, period. 8th are the Packers compared to 49ers, 12th. Rushing, we know the Green Bay don't rush the ball like that. They do, but they don't.
They don't.
They're middle of the pack, 18th.
Facts.
To San Francisco, 7th. They run the ball crazy. Mm-hmm. So, with that in mind, what do you have, sir?
Actually, I'm going to change my score because I'm thinking about it. Because high-ranked rushing means you control time of possession.
That is very true. For people that know football, yes. Talk to me.
The thing is, though, the Niners have a worse passing defense substantially because their safeties and their corners injured. Mm. So, and, they lost Sherman. So, yeah. So, Aaron Rodgers is a top-tier quarterback, only threw, 4 picks for the season.
Facts. 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So, he may carve him up, but he can only carve him up if he touches the field enough.
True. I see where you're going with this.
You see what I'm saying?
I see where you're going with this.
Now, the Niners have a great rushing attack, but the Packers' defensive strength is their linebackers. For those who don't know football, linebackers are the ones who tackle running backs when they get past the defensive linemen. So that means that the rushing attack could possibly be held up a little bit. Do I think this is going to be a high-scoring game? Not even a little bit. Because I'm thinking about it now. My first little pick was a little jump of the gun. As I'm analyzing the game further and further, I'm like, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring of a game. But there's another thing. Field goals matter. Packers are not missing no field goals. The Niners have missed some field goals from every range, from 30 to 50. So, there's a lot of tiny variables. Do I feel like the Packers are going to lose this game? No, because I feel like here's where the quarterback play comes in. Aaron Rodgers is undeniably clutch. Jimmy G is undeniably a beat in the clutch.
Yes.
So, if it comes to neck and neck where it's under 2 minutes left, I feel like the Packers wipe the floor with that.
Because they'll have a guy that don't even need to call plays. He'll call his own.
But the thing is, while Jimmy G is in clutch, Kyle Shanahan is very clutch. Because like I said, if you don't know football, if you watch the plays that he calls for running, passing, hybrids, I would call it, because that's what happens. Mm-hmm. You don't know. His trick plays are regular plays. He calls trick plays almost every snap. So, if the Packers are able to stay, I guess you could say, aware of what the Niners do, they could beat them by a lot. Do I think that's going to happen? No, because they're the underdogs. Underdogs always do extra preparation.
They play up to their competition.
So I feel
For
like...
the most part, not all underdogs.
So now, I'm going to change it to like... I think the Packers may win 24-16.
I got Green Bay by 10. And it'll only get to 10 because San Francisco will score late to try to make it a game. This bad man, as Stephen A. would like to say, he got some things to prove, and this is game 1.
Yeah.
But fun fact for those betting folks, Aaron Rodgers' career 0-3 record versus San Francisco, all in postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that in mind. We're going to be in Green Bay, though, but keep it in mind.
Mm-hmm. It's a bad matchup.
That's a bad matchup, but we'll see what it goes like.
The Niners are a bad matchup for everybody.
Yeah, but I think this quarterback can, play up to the physicality.
Yeah.
But moving on to the Sunday matchups. First game, 3 o'clock, bright and early on a Sunday. Rams versus Buccaneers in Tampa's house, Tampa Bay, as they like to call it down there in Florida. I'll give you a stat about their great Hall of Fame quarterback. He is 14-2 career record in the divisional round. So once he gets into the playoffs, it's time to eat. It's time to, get these rings. You know what I'm saying? So there's one quarterback here that I want. I feel like this is going to be more so a quarterback matchup. Like from what we've seen, we can say, oh yeah, the quarterback will be the deciding factor. But for this game right here, I believe it's going to be coming down to their quarterbacks. One quarterback hasn't had any playoff success besides last week.
Not his fault.
Not his fault, but we get it. And the next one has nothing but playoff success, either by him or by his coach. Word. They will leave it at that. So both of these teams are pretty close in a sense. One team is 13-4, the other one is 12-5. Who do you have and why? This is a definitely tough game, depending on what your Super Bowl looks like.
I don't want to go against this man because I do it and it never works out.
Every time you do, he proves you wrong. Every time you just say, let me watch, he does some crazy stuff.
But I gotta go. I have to make my predictions based off my football knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And via football knowledge, the Rams should win this game.
Yes. I see what you're saying.
The Rams should win this game. Now, here's where the problem is.
Not to cut you off, the last time these guys played in September in the beginning of this.
Oh, yeah, smoke sesh.
It wasn't a smoke. Well, kind of, yeah, in football terms. 34-24 Rams.
Yeah. Smoke sesh. Since that first half of the game, the Rams smoked them.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I'm going to choose the Rams because if they, like I said, you don't play
picking against Mr. Brady.
I have to because the Rams don't play to, once again, their ego. They should win this game. Sony Michel's having a good season. Matt Stafford, if he plays like he played last week, they should win this game comfortably. My only is the defense.
And Tampa Bay's defense is, in my opinion, Tampa Bay's defense is more sure-handed than Aaron Donald's defense.
Way more.
Like they come up big better. Like there's too many times where I've seen the Rams defense like, okay, this is your game to win.
Yeah.
And they give up damn near 30 points.
True. But here's the thing with that. Because offensively, when I say offensively, the Bucs offense to the Rams defense, it's a little uneven because Mike Evans is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And J. Ram is not.
He's going to be the feature guy this week.
You know what I'm saying? J. Ram is not that big. But J. Ram be tackling. That's good. But it's going to be hard for him to cover that man. Like a route runner.
The thing is, he won't be even covering that man because something tells me the way the schemes work, he'll end up covering him and Gronk. Because you're not going to leave linebacker on Gronk. As much as Gronk may look like he slipped a little bit, Tom Brady will find him the ball.
What are you talking about? If they smart, if the Rams are smart, drop Von Miller on Gronk.
Von Miller on Gronk.
If you smart.
And don't put him in the backfield trying to rush.
No.
Are you that confident in your four-man? In your four-man line?
To be.
I understand that
Sacking
logic.
Tom Brady before he throws the ball is very unlikely. That's why he beats everybody so much.
But I mean, I wouldn't say it's unlikely, but to do it consistently, yes.
He doesn't get sacked. He doesn't move. That means that your rush is not rushing enough to make him uncomfortable. If Aaron Donald has his number, which I hope he does because they need him to, where it's going to take 2 of their own linemen to block him, then the Rams will have a severe advantage throughout this game. You need Von Miller on Gronk because Gronk can't just throw him. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And Gronk is not going to... I don't see Gronk going too far down the field outside of Von Miller's range. If Gronk has speed this game, then it may be slow in general. But J. Ram's too small for Mike Evans. So he's definitely too small for Gronk. Now, when it comes to the Rams offense and the Bucs defense, that's a little... interesting.
It is interesting.
It's a little interesting right there because I don't know if you peeped last week. My son Matt Stafford got his legs back. I don't know where they came from.
You're going to need them. We're back. Here on Story Point Live, we were continuing the conversation with Tampa Bay LA, and we were talking about the matchup wise for Tampa Bay's defense to LA's offense. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be a gritty one.
It is.
Honestly, Odell might have to find himself all over the field.
Oh, everywhere.
Because of course the action will be going against Cooper Kupp, but this is why they got you, Odell.
But it's not even just. You got to mix it up. You got Sony Michel's been on a tear. He's been on a tear.
Telling me it needs to be a mix of run, pass, everything. You have to take every opportunity, every single opportunity. OBJ needs to be, in my opinion, he needs to be saucing everybody up in the slot. Everybody.
He sauces
as
everybody.
We know he can.
Yeah, because that's like, he doesn't have to be full speed. Just the hands. He needs you in the vicinity. Mm-hmm. We need Matthew Stafford to play calm. Because if you look at his interceptions,
it's when he tries to do a little bit too much.
His arm is too strong. He panics and launches the ball. When he launches the ball, the average guy can't grab it. That's why if you look at most of his interceptions, they're tips. Go into the air, somebody gets it.
Nah, yeah, half of them are definitely.
You see what I'm saying? If his O-line can protect him, where he has the time to sit and survey, not necessarily have all the protection in the world, because Tampa Bay's pass rush is still relevant. I wouldn't say formidable, but it's relevant.
I like that word.
You know what I'm saying? So if they get that, that works. Cooper Kupp is going to be Cooper Kupp. No one's seen. You can't stop him. It's impossible. Come on, bro. It's impossible. You can't stop that.
Yeah, he
even
finds
last
a way.
week, bro, I was like,
he's the Triple Crown winner, touchdowns, receiving yards, and receptions, right? Yeah, a lot.
Like, so it was like, bro, even last week, bro, the Cowboys took him out until they didn't take him out. He was there in the end zone all of a sudden, touchdown somehow. So I feel like when it comes to me, I feel like there's more pressure on Stafford because everybody else I feel on the offense is going to do their job. Mm-hmm. If Stafford can get the ball to them at the right time with the right timing, like, I feel like it'll be good. I'm going to pick Rams to win by 4.
You got Rams by 4.
Rams by 4.
So SRL will be making his pick right now. It's hard for me. This is really a hard pick.
Crazy.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see Aaron Rodgers get his revenge back against Tom Brady, but something tells me Tom Brady's magic may be running out. And the Rams are in put up or shut up mode.
J-Ram got to show up, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I'm gonna go with what my gut is telling me, and my gut is telling me that this Rams defense is gonna fold possibly one more time. Are they gonna fold in like past times and give up damn near 30? I don't think so. But would it be 21-25 in that range somewhere with the field goals and depending on how the game go? I think so. And I'm gonna go with. This is really hard because when I look at the Rams team on paper, it's like,
yo, crazy.
But paper isn't always it.
True.
And yeah, I think what did I start off with this subject earlier? This is gonna be a battle of which quarterback is gonna be able to lead their team down the field and make some key plays. And if I'm honest with you, if we're looking at quarterbacks to make plays, I got to go with Brady. And that's a cliche pick. But Matthew Stafford hasn't shown me enough, even with a 12-5 record.
Never been this far before.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about this season. Like, in the key moments this season where they needed him to make a throw or needed him to put a drive together, he's been iffy on that. You feel me? He has a couple underthrown balls. He has a couple 3-interception games. Like, I'm seeing in primetime lights.
Yeah.
So,
but he also has some 2 interception games where he got some winning drives.
that's a fact.
All on him, too.
That's what I'm saying. So, it's iffy for me. I'm guessing this is the more safe pick.
I feel you.
This is probably the one safe pick I have, I guess. But I'm going to go Tampa Bay by a field goal. The good old Tom Brady's going to have the ball back with 1:30. He's going to drive down the field, get to the 40 or the 30, and they're going to kick a 40 to 50-yard field goal for the win. Typical Tom Brady fashion.
I have the same situation, but in that situation, I see him getting sacked.
In that situation for a game. I like that. The defense finally comes up big. I like that, though. So far, if you're keeping up with us, we both have the Titans winning. No, I lied. You have the Bengals. You have the Bengals. I have the Titans. We both have the Packers winning.
Word.
You have the Rams. I got the Buccaneers. And last but not least, in the primetime game on Sunday, 6:30 p.m. in Kansas City, Arrowhead, Buffalo goes back to Kansas City where they lost in the AFC Championship game last season. Let me give you a stat. Kansas City, 32 points per game in playoffs with Mahomes as their quarterback. That is the highest in NFL history when having minimum 5 starts in the playoffs. So we already know what Kansas City's story is.
Yeah.
They've been up and down most of the season. They've seemed to find their groove. But they do have a problem, though. They, just like their season as a whole, in games, they get off to rough starts.
Turnovers.
You feel me? And the question I want to bring on to the table is, because I believe this is a serious question, if Kansas City gets off to a bad start, will the game be over?
No. Because same way how Kansas City gets off to bad starts, Buffalo is notorious for bad endings. It's really just. I
like that take, sir.
It's really just flips of the coin when you look at these teams. Because
one is 11-6 in Buffalo, Kansas City 12-5.
the thing about Buffalo's advantage is they have a better defense than Kansas City. But Kansas City has a defense that shows up. Sometimes Frank Clark gets where he needs to go.
Kansas City defense shows up for games where you don't think they're supposed to show up, and then they just
like.
It's so annoying that
All of a
way.
sudden, one game they'll give up 30 points. Next game, Frank Clark gets 3-4 sacks in a half, and you're like, where'd that come from? Now, do I think Frank Clark? I feel like even if he breaks through the O-line, Josh Allen's pretty athletic.
And we saw last game, he definitely went to go run.
It's this season.
Facts.
This season, like when because there's a point in this season where Josh Allen could do nothing but throw picks.
And he was like, you know what? Instead of risking it, let me see what I can get. And he's definitely an athletic guy to do so.
You feel me? So it's like, all right, we gotta see that.
6 feet, 3 something strong.
Now, if this comes to a shootout,
the game's over.
It just comes to a shootout.
I don't see the Buffalo Bills as a shootout team.
What are you talking about?
To do it with them?
What are you talking about?
What? Talk to me. Am I missing something here? I don't think I'm missing. Like, look,
Who
bro.
has more stars on offense?
Who has more stars on offense?
You can't say Kansas City.
I want to, but I can't.
You can't. You have Kelsey. You got Tyreek Hill.
And the other guys are just role players that some days step up, some days don't.
You know what I'm saying? The Bills still got Cole, Slot King.
He's been quiet too.
Because they haven't needed no slot king.
Wasn't he injured for a little bit this year too?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well, he missed like 2-3 games. Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah. All right. Cool.
But it's like Cole's still a slot king. But the thing is, he went quiet last week because they didn't have to use him for the slot.
I think he had like 2 catches last week.
Because everything was a tub, bro. He was a tub, bro. They needed
Word.
Cole is the third down guy. You feel me?
Safety net.
We already know Stephon is Stephon. But to me,
I know he want this game.
He bites too. He bites like his brother on the offensive end.
What do you mean though? The fine bites on the offensive end. I don't think people will catch that.
Like, if you see where the way he runs routes, he's a slot guy too.
Yeah, he definitely is a slot guy. But he has to be on the outside.
But he forces himself into extremely difficult catches for no reason. Like, if you notice, There was a game earlier in the season. I don't even remember. I think it was not against the Titans, because Titans won that game. There's if you look at all of Stephon Diggs' highlights, they're all while being extremely covered. He's not a super fast receiver. His double moves, when he's double, sometimes he'll triple. Sometimes he overruns his route to the point where Josh Allen's arm can go deep, and Stephon will, for no reason. You feel me? He'll curl out. He'll
cut off the route.
Times. You feel me? He makes himself do extra difficult things. If you see when he does his spectacular catches, it's because you overran your route. Why do you have to turn around, jump, and catch the ball over the back of the DB's head? That doesn't make sense to me. You could have just kept running straight. You would have caught it in stride. Sometimes Josh Allen just throws a pick. In all honesty, sometimes he just throws a pick. Do I think you get pick sixth? No, because he'll tackle the person. But bro, why are you? Come on, bro. You're quarterback. You're not DT. You gotta relax. So I feel like if it comes to gunslinging, I think it'll be pretty even, in my opinion. But Kansas City has more. Their 2 stars are legitimate superstars. Kelsey is a monster. Zeus is a monster. You feel me? I don't think the Bills have an answer for him. I think the Bills have an answer for Tyreek, though.
I can see that.
You feel me? I don't think Kansas City has an answer for any of the Bills except Josh Allen.
Last meeting, Buffalo Bills won 38-20. I said earlier I don't see them as a high-scoring team, but these 2 games that we point out, last game, of course, 47 points. And then, of course, the game that I just said, 38. They can get there, but all about consistency. And both of these teams
are very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. Not going to lie to you. I got Buffalo.
Yeah, me too.
I got Buffalo, but it's going to be a close game, not high-scoring. It's going to be in the 20s for me. I'll go 27-24.
I got Buffalo. I think it's going to be a shootout. I legitimately think it's going to be a shootout.
So 30s, 40s?
I see Buffalo winning 38-34.
So let's go over these playoffs again, just in case you guys didn't catch. You guys forgot who we have. You have, excuse me as I bring up these scores. You have, last time I think you have Bengals. You have Bengals, Packers, Rams, and Buffalo with me. And I have, who do I have? I have Titans. Green Bay as well.
You have the Bucks. You got Buffalo too.
And I got Buffalo. Those are our picks. Let's see what it will look like. The playoffs have officially started if they haven't started already, because these games.
Be fair.
Football gods can be very cruel.
Please be fair.
But thank you guys for tuning in.
And
SRL.
Professional athletes don't make me look stupid.
And don't lose us our money. But that's a whole other discussion.
Brad.
Gamble responsibly.
Shout out to my son, Mario. Brad.
Feel me? So reporting live. See y'all next week. Bye.
Sincerely ain't yours, I'm sorry mama, you can't have it your way. I'm a little broke boy, I be stuck in my ways. I'm a little broke boy, I'm just acting my age. 23 hoop dreams, I'ma start in my J's. Probably rolling my J, ain't got nothing to say. I be running away, you can have a good day.